It's time for another edition of Living Room Sports, and tonight Keith Russell zooms into the living room of one of the most colorful and controversial characters of the Cowboys Super Bowl teams of the 70s, Thomas Hollywood Henderson. The Cowboys drafted the two-time NAIA All-American out of Langston University in Oklahoma in the first round of the 1975 draft. He was a defensive and special teams playmaker on 3 Cowboys Super Bowl teams his first 4 years in the NFL, earning the nickname Hollywood for his flamboyant personality, but a destructive lifestyle of drugs and alcohol led to his release from the Cowboys during the 1979 season, and that's just the beginning of the Thomas Henderson story.
You're drafted by the Cowboys in the first round in 1975, one of 2 first-round draft picks the Cowboys had that year, the other being Randy White. 12 rookies make the team. You guys become known as the Dirty Dozen. You told me it's not just because there was a dozen rookie, it's because of another reason.
Everybody grew a beard, and we were just, everybody had a beard, patchy beards, caveman beards, just beards, bad mustaches. It was just, looking pretty raggedy. When we reported to Thousand Oaks, Landry made an announcement from the team, said everybody has to shave. All rookies have to shave. And so the Dirty Dozen came from that. And I was the only rookie that refused to shave. I went to a dermatologist, and he said I had pseudo-fulo follicles or some diagnosis. And so, but yeah, that was the original thing about the Dirty Dozen.
Is it true that you started the celebration when you get into the end zone of dunking the ball, the football over the goalpost, over the crossbar?
My rookie year against the St. Louis Cardinals, Mike Ditka called a reverse that we had practiced, that we'd worked on. And I went 97 yards, and I didn't know what to do. I said, okay, I'm gonna slam it. Went and slammed it over the goalpost, and that was 1975.
And then you did it again.
Against Tampa, and I had a chance to do it against the Rams, but the field was wet. It was the 4th quarter, and I was tired, and I didn't want to, not make it.
Thomas Henderson, and here comes the spike, up and over.
What year was it when you won your first lotteries? What year was that? And I see conflicting reports. Was it 28 million?
Yes, it was on my mother's birthday, March 22nd, 2000. I won 28 million, but I took the cash option. And so Thomas Henderson has managed the money. Thomas hadn't blown the money. Now, I've had a couple of investments that didn't go so well. I even had a broker who stole, $1 million from me. But I'm good.
One of the more, I guess I'll say, polarizing moments, or the moment that a lot of people became on a national level aware of Hollywood Henderson, was going into that Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You had one of the more famous quotes in sports history. How did it go?
So Gil Brandt, during Super Bowl week, on the airplane going down to Miami, came back to Henderson. Did you know that Terry Bradshaw wanted to go to LSU, but he had to settle on Louisiana Tech because of his SAT scores? And I looked at Gil and said, no, I'll work on that. So as soon as I got to Miami and the press put a microphone in front of me, I came up with the line. I said, Terry Bradshaw is so dumb that he couldn't spell cat. If you spotted him the C and the A. After I won the lottery, CBS sent him to Austin. And I apologized to him, and he backed away, going, oh, no big. I said, Terry, come here. I'm sorry. So that was one of my many amends that I've made in my life.
Thomas Henderson no longer goes by the name Hollywood because he says he's a way different person now than he was as an all-world linebacker for the Cowboys. In fact, this Sunday, November 8th, is the 37th anniversary of Henderson being clean and sober. Our conversation resumes with Thomas explaining how he got wrapped up with drugs in the first place and how he's been able to turn his life around and become a role model for other athletes struggling to do the same.
And literally one day at a time, doing that next right thing is sort of like learning how to walk again and talk again. So it's been a very interesting journey. Regrets, I have a few, but too few to mention. I'm a blessed man.
What was your low point?
My low point was police knocking on my door, handcuffing me, and saying that I had sexually assaulted someone. So here, 37 years later, smoking crack, drinking 151 rum until it was all gone to come down. Thomas Henderson spent about a year in and out of blackouts. 82, 83, I have very little memory of. It's not even an excuse. People in blackouts have murdered people. People in blackouts have mowed people down in traffic. I'm really sorry for what happened in Southern California, but I have no memory of the act, zero. I pleaded no contest because I had no defense, but it wasn't a pattern. It's one of the most regrettable days in my life. But it was great in a sense that I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, I'm a friend, I'm a neighbor, I'm part of a recovering community. So, life is good. And I guess if that's what it took to get me here, here I am.
I asked you how you got out of it. I guess the reverse question, Thomas, is how do you fall into that?
When Tom Landry fired me from the Dallas Cowboys, the Monday before Thanksgiving, 1979, it hurt me. I mean, so where does hurt go? Nobody signs up to go out to be an alcoholic or a drug addict. You just don't sign up for it. Curiosity, the companions that you hang out with, and just that curiosity and getting that first hit, that first drink, and boy, something happened. Something happened. It's not a fantastic moment, but you're curious. I think most alcoholisms and drug addictions are just curiosity, and in that curiosity becomes an addiction, an obsession. I was a mess. I mean, I was a mess. And I was so into it that I couldn't see. It's like I was in a hole and I couldn't see any light because my only concentration was to find cocaine, to find a pipe, to find 151 rum so I can light. When you start drinking flammable stuff, something's wrong with you. Rubbing alcohol? Yeah, I've squeezed off a shot or two of rubbing alcohol. So that's how deep I got into my addiction, forgetting that I'm a blessed athlete, forgetting that I'm the best player in the NFL. I forgot.
Do you ever stop and say, wow, I have this amazing journey I've lived, but here's where my football career should have gone?
Well, I say, God let me go as far as he wanted me to go, and then he needed me to do something else. He needed me to help alcoholics and drug addicts. He took me to the lowest low to make an example.
If there's one lasting memory you would like people to have about Hollywood Henderson or Thomas Henderson or Thomas Hollywood Henderson, what's the lasting memory you want people to have of Thomas Henderson?
He recovered.
It was November 8th, 1983. Thomas Henderson decided to turn his life around. He says as of tonight, he has now been clean and sober for 37 years.